rally stages, they're probably, what, 30 minutes long? 3 weeks, this one. It's going to be a bit different for you.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's just a completely different thing, and everyone sort of asks me for comparisons all the time, but you can't compare the two. They're just totally different disciplines, and that's the reason that I'm attracted to it.
Safari Rally in the WRC, you've been victorious on that. That's obviously given you some idea of what you're going to see out there in the desert. But, I mean, it's a long way. It's 7,000 miles. It's 3 weeks long. You probably do half that mileage in a WRC season.
Yeah, well, I think if you add it up, it's 2 WRC seasons rolled into one in 18 days. So it's a hell of a long way and a hell of a challenge, and that's really part of the appeal.
Europe's nearly over now. You've done the super specials for the spectators. Frustrating, but now you're looking forward to the real stuff.
Yeah, we've just got an 800-kilometre section to do now on the road. But yeah, it's all about getting to Africa, isn't it? That's where it's going to start. So just get this lot out of the way and get into the real stuff.
You've done the first 3 days with Colin McRae in the Nissan on the Dakar. You've done the Dakar before, but you've never co-driven for Colin before.
No, it's a new experience. It's a very, very nice experience, and I have only positive things to say. It's very strategic, very clever, and it's really working very well. For me, it's a new experience. I mean, I trust him 100%, and I just hope that he will trust me for 100% for the rest of the 2 weeks.
I'm sure that he will. I'm sure that he will. Have you been saying anything to give him advice, or is he just the quick learner that we know he is?
No, I think he knew this before, and he is here to learn, because it will be a lot of learning, especially today with the sand, and to make the right tire pressure, because it's a big difference and it's a new challenge. And you can only lose if you rush it. So it's just to build it up, and when you build up the confidence, you get more strong. And if you are clever as that, then it should be a good run.
Waters, how do you say, the ponds? Did you?
Yeah, no problem.
Did you slow down, or?
A little bit, not much.
A little bit.
It's not so deep, so it's better to keep the speed.
So this is not the real start of the rally. Tomorrow, maybe? Or?
Yeah, tomorrow, the next day. I think it gets worse and worse as we go, or better and better.
lost your wing at one moment. What happened?
I don't know, they just have 100 k's from the end, the car was very loose on the rear, so obviously that's when the wing fell off. I don't know why, I think it's maybe it's not strong enough.
Tomorrow you've got more than 700 k's, which is yesterday and today put together, and a start in the dark for the road section. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. It's you sort of prepare mentally for the distance, how it's going to feel, and 350 k's feels a hell of a lot longer than I anticipated.
Generally, do you think the whole thing is tougher than people imagine who sit and watch it on TV at home?
I think the pace is faster. Today, the pace was very fast. That was, like a full out safari pace on WRC, and which I was quite surprised about. So the terrain changes all the time, and you've got to change with the terrain. But it's a bit tougher than I thought it was going to be.
I don't want to worry you. Maybe the right pace is slower than that.
Maybe the right pace is slower. Everybody's going quicker. So what do you do?
We'll have a good day tomorrow.
It was going really well. We backed the pace off a bit from yesterday because the car took a bit of a pounding yesterday, and then Peter Hansel passed us, so that was with about 60 k's to go to the first dunes. So we thought that's perfect, we'll just sit behind him because he's the man to follow through the dunes if anyone, and we did that, and it was brilliant. A great experience just to watch the way he went through, and we were following him, so it was safe. And by the time we got there, we had caught Masioka and Janil as well. So there was 4 cars in the dunes together. And then in the very last one coming out, it was downhill to a big hard valley floor, and the sort of engine just spluttered a bit on top of the dune and stopped. And I thought, I know what we're going to do now. So try reverse or try forward. So I tried forward, and it just sunk down. So I had to get out and dig. And that was 20 minutes to get the car out of there. And then got going again, and then the 2 punctures later on in the stage, which wasn't a major problem, but the biggest problem was getting stuck in the sand for 20 minutes.
So 20 minutes stuck in the sand, a couple of punctures. You could have won the stage.
It was going very well, and the second part of it was a bit easier. Until fairly close to the end, there was a lot of very tricky camel grass, which was probably even harder than the dunes. But we went through that, followed John Louis for some of it, and then did the rest of it on our own. And it was hard work. It was getting really hot in the car, and the engine temperature was going up. It was just first gear, and really working the engine very, very hard to keep the car going. So that was pretty tricky. It would have been you can always say it would have been a good stage. It was going very well. had a problem in the transmission. Something's broken inside, and we only had front wheels driving, and it was very, very soft and sandy, so it just wasn't possible to go. So finally we're here.
Oh yeah, it's Colin McRae. So Ari had a problem, but you also have some problem with your car?
Yeah, we have a problem with the gearbox from yesterday, but now we lost some gears coming across the camel grass. But when everything's cooled down, the gear's working again, so we're going to try and see if we can go a bit further. But so, I don't think we can go much further.
Colin, well done. Your first Dakar stage victory. Surely more to come.
I hope so. I mean, it was a bit of a worry today with all the dust. We've still started fairly far back in the road. But, I mean, it was bad in the beginning with the dust, but we managed to pick everyone off, and then it obviously had a good clean run, which I think is really the first time in about 12 days. So it's quite nice.
A little bit of a milestone in your own mind that you've won a stage of the Dakar Rally now?
Yeah, I would have been a bit disappointed if I'd gone home without winning one, so at least we've done that.
Last Brit to win a stage was Andrew Cowan. He won 6. What do you say to that? He was from Scotland as well.
I've got a bit of catching up to do, haven't I? But I've got a lot of years to catch up in him anyway.
Windscreen smashed, bit missing off the car, very narrow on the stage.
Just very narrow, sandy tracks with a lot of bushes hanging over, and you can't avoid them in some places.
What's going to be your pace on this next stage?
I think we need to back off now because it's. I haven't really looked at the mileage, but I think it's over 1,000 stage kilometres, so it's a long way to go without any service. So we'll probably back off quite a bit.
3 more days to go. How was today's stage though?
Yeah, good. Obviously, it's the first part of the marathon, so keeping that in mind with the pace, and started very gently and then built the pace up a bit towards the end, but still been very, very careful. So we developed a vibration again in the transmission just after the start, so that's always playing in your mind as well. Remember what happened the last time it started, the diff blew up, so it's not a very comfortable feeling. So we've got tomorrow to do as well, with probably very, very limited service tonight. So it's a long way to go. It's getting closer to the end, but it's still a hell of a long way to go.
Tomorrow is still going to be a difficult stage before the relatively easy run into Dakar at a Newark shot. Tina going through the notes?
Yeah, I mean, every night she's doing well, she's doing her homework, and it's working out well. It was quite complicated navigation in a few places today, and I think everybody had some trouble, and we had a fairly good clean run through, so it's working well.
Are you counting the days down to Dakar or counting the days down to going home?
Well, a bit of both really. I'm trying not to. I think that's a mistake. When you start counting days down, then things are going to go wrong, so just take it still a day at a time. No drive to the front, the prop shaft was broken, so now it's out. We have to wait on the T4 coming to fit the new one.
Well done, you got to Dakar, 2-stage victories. You must be pretty pleased.
Pleased and disappointed. When you see what was possible without the problems we had, we could have had a very good result here, even on the first attempt. But we've gained a lot of experiences, just about everyone you could have in Dakar, I think. So, it would be nice to come back again and put these to good use.
You've been smiling quite a bit. You have enjoyed it though, haven't you?
I've enjoyed it. I think you've got to come to this rally with a different mentality, and it's got to be right, or you're going to be very sorry very early on. So you've got to approach it with a fairly open mind, and especially this year being the first year and with a relatively new team that are learning a lot. So you've got to expect problems, and we had them.
Got a lot of Brits in the team this year. Do you think that the WRC mindset with the mechanics can beat the French at rally raiding?
I think so, yeah. There's no reason why not. It's got a huge hype about it, this event, for being so difficult, so hard and tough, and it's not that bad if you prepare well. It's about, an event like this, it's a bit like safari anyway. You've got to do the winning's almost done in the workshop and the design shop before you come here, and that's what we've got to do if we're going to come back and win this event, and there's no reason why you can't compete with the French here.